Hi, my name is Carl Valeri, host of Aviation Careers Podcast. In this episode, we're going to answer the question if you should get your CFII and MEI during the slowdown in hiring. And that's coming up next in this episode. Well, this question actually comes from a listener and also somebody who is on the online forums. As I told you, I sometimes go through some of the online forums and suggest some of those. Primarily on Facebook, I help moderate a few of them. But this question is really interesting. It's something that I think a lot of people are interested in knowing the answer to. But before we get started, I know a lot of folks want to know where they can get that free scholarships guide. And you can get that free scholarships guide at aviationcareerspodcast.com/free and use a coupon code Pay It Forward. We actually have a lot of different people that sponsor the podcast, and you can learn out more about how you can help sponsor a podcast too through the Pay It Forward program. Just click on Pay It Forward on the side. But anyway, let's get to the question. This person writes on the online forum, it says, should I get my CFII and MEI even during this slowdown? I also have 2 check ride failures. So what should I do? Should I get my CFII and MEI? Well, there's a lot to unpack on this question. Really good question, by the way. And we'll get a little bit into all the different details on this one. So should you get your CFI and MEI? Well, first of all, the CFI, the Certified Flight Instructor Instrument, and also the MEI, Multi-Engine Instrument, are really good for those people that are looking to move forward in their career to become an airline pilot. So yes, I would say the more ratings, the better, especially if you want to teach people that want to become airline pilots and teach people that want to move forward in their career. So why should you do that? Well, first of all, number one, there's more customers that you can actually teach, right? So if you're going to get your II, you can actually teach people that are getting their instrument rating. And that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Well, the other thing too is that the type of customer you usually get, even if they're not looking at this as a career, is someone who's actually really looking at using the airplane for utility, or they're using it, like I said, for a career. Getting the instrument rating is a prerequisite normally to flying any type of commercial flying. Obviously outside some of that VFR stuff we do around the islands and that type of thing. But in general, it's a good idea to get your CFII. Another thing too, as far as hiring, most of the bigger flight schools aren't really going to hire somebody who doesn't have their II. And the reason being is that they're moving people through, say, a 141 program, and they're usually like a cadet program or their career program. So they want to see people that actually have all those ratings already in place so they can hire you and use you for all those courses. Now let's look at the MEI, the multi-engine instructor. First of all, you're going to need your multi-engine rating to work at the airlines or most of the bigger companies. Smaller planes, usually single-engine airplanes, don't pay as much, but if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm just saying that if you want to move on to the airlines or say you want to go into corporate aviation in which they use multi-engine aircraft, which most corporate aircraft are, then you're probably going to have to get your multi-engine rating. And getting in your MEI, you're going to help yourself actually get more hours because now you're eligible to teach other people in those multis. So, for instance, when you're out there, you're going out there looking around an airport and you see people that have multi-engine aircraft. And a lot of times there are people that have a little more income, disposable income, and they might ask you, hey, listen, can you help me in getting my rating, or maybe doing an instrument proficiency check or something. They're going to want you to be in the aircraft with them and helping them out, usually because they want to look towards a flight instructor, because they can always take somebody who's a fellow pilot up to be a safety pilot, but normally want to bring along an instructor because they want to actually grow and expand their knowledge. Also, again, going back to those schools that teach towards people that are going to become airline pilots, professional pilots, most of them have some type of multi-engine training that they can do or should do, because airlines and most of these corporate programs, they do have multi-engine aircraft. So should you get your CFI and MEI? Short answer, yes, you should. What are the risks? Of course, the risks, like you said, are actually failing another check ride. So let's talk a little bit about that. Of course, there's always the risk of failing a check ride in general. But having those 2 failed check rides, and I know there's this, we'll go on a little bit of a side discussion about having failed check rides. It's a good idea to try to pass all your check rides on the first try if you can, obviously. There are certain programs that are out there that won't allow you to actually enter the program if you have 3 or more failures. And so that's something else to think about. So I know what you're looking at, the risk and reward here. But the one important thing I'd like you to do is this. Think about the reasons why you failed that check ride and discuss with yourself, or like myself, a career coach, and discuss why is it that you failed those check rides. Maybe there's more to this. Maybe you were at a school where they were pushing you to move through the ratings faster than you felt you should. Maybe it was the type of instruction you're getting. Maybe you feel like it isn't as good as you thought it was and you want to have an unbiased opinion. Well, we can help you there, obviously, with the career coaching. You just click on career coaching on the side there. And this is something I think is really, really important, is to have that one-on-one discussion as to, what is it that's going on here? Are you having a challenge with certain studies? Is there something in your home life that's distracting you? Is there something at the flight school? Is there something else in your professional career right now that's distracting you from going forward and getting a check ride failure? So that's what I think you should do. Will that hold you back from a job in the future? It will, and it will not. So if it gets more competitive, of course, they're going to see less check ride failures. But as far as check ride failures are concerned, you can still get hired. Of course, it's going to be a little bit tougher if it becomes a more constrained environment, which it is today, by the way. So 2024, we're talking here in June of 2024, and we are seeing, yes, a slowdown in hiring. And that's throughout the industry, right? So even a flight instructor job, which is what you're talking about, that's what we're talking about here. So you get your CFII and MEI. I say yes, but the first thing you should do is figure out what's causing you to have these check ride failures, and get your house in order first, and then move forward with it. And of course, we can talk about that. Oh, and the other thing too is I think it's important to have a mentor and some type of mentorship. And we do that through we have this new monthly career coaching, and it's a career coaching mastermind group, which it's only $20 a month in 2024, and we meet once a month, and it's actually very helpful. We have an inspirational story. We talk about a certain topic, like this topic, which is coming up on June 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk about furloughs and the impact on your career, and that's something that's happening right now, some furloughs and impact on your career. And we're going to get drill down a little more specific on that. And of course, during this, you can actually ask questions. And if you want, you can come on the show and you can actually, plead your case, tell people what's going on, and maybe ask people, hey, what is it I can do different to help myself with this career? And again, we do that through the Career Coaching Group Mastermind. And that is actually, you can get a free 1 month free with that by using the Coach It Forward coupon. So there's no obligation, and you can try it out for free for a month. So go check that out. I think it's a great thing to look at. And even if you just sign on for 1 month and look at all the past different coaching masterminds we had, I think that would be very, very helpful for you. And I know this environment now is getting a little bit tougher. So again, that coaching mastermind and also the one-on-one coaching, I think that's important. Whether it's me or somebody else, make sure you get out there and do that. Get out there and talk to somebody. Maybe you have a mentor, a friend in the industry, and discuss these things with them. But if you want an unbiased opinion, of course, we do that. So again, some of the things that are a risk here, let's go talk one more time about that. Is this something that you need to think about? If failing this check ride is going to be bad for your career, well, of course it doesn't look as good as if you have 0 check ride failures. But let's back up and figure out why you had those check ride failures, and I think that's very important. So in summary, should anybody get their II or MEI? Absolutely. And you see it right now, and many times throughout when the industry is good also, that certain schools will not hire you without your II because they are more career oriented, and they're going to go right from their private to their instrument, to their multi, to the commercial, and they're going to get all those things done. So should you get your CFII? Yes, absolutely. Should you get your MEI? Well, you're going to have to get your multi-commercial at some point. So if you can do both at the same time, that'd be great. great. By the way, I did that myself in 3 days. I got my multi-commercial and I've got my multi-instructor in 3 days, and that was it. So there's a lot of accelerated programs out there that you can look at on the internet to do that. So definitely look at getting your CFII MEI. Also think about signing up for that coaching. Our next class is coming up on June 18th. And of course, if you sign up, you can get the first one for free using that coupon code Coach It Forward. And the other thing too is if you're looking for those scholarships guides, maybe you want to get your multi-engine or MEI, there's some scholarships out there. You can use Pay It Forward as a coupon. Just go to aviationcareerspodcast.com/free and use that coupon code. But again, make sure you try as hard as you can not to have any more check ride failures. Is it a career ender? No. I know there's people, and we've actually had them on the show, who've said, hey, listen, it doesn't matter how many times you failed your check ride, but it does for certain programs. So I can never say that it doesn't matter. But this is the time that I want you to do this. I want you to build time, and I want you to add ratings during this period of a slowdown here. This is, again, June 2024, and we are having a slowdown in the industry and hiring both at the majors, at the regionals, especially on the flight instructor side. So to make yourself stand out in a crowd, get more ratings, build your time, and I'm sure you will get to where you want to go. But most importantly for anybody listening, make sure that you take a step today to move forward in your career. And it could be something as simple as researching some of these different ratings and how much it would cost you, researching the schools, maybe picking up one of those books on the multi-engine rating and start reading more about that, and then really starting doing your research as to other jobs that are out there, things that you never thought of before because a year ago the hiring environment was so hot and now it isn't as much. But this is a cycle. There's always these cycles out there, and I've been doing this for many decades now, and this is going to happen over and over again. We're going to have a downturn at some point, and the most important thing, though, is to continue getting your ratings, continue building your hours, and don't quit. So do that for me. Take one step today to move forward in your career and towards your goal, because I know that you will make it quicker than you think. Well, we'll talk to you next episode. Safe flying out there.